I was 8 years old, and there is a lovely lady back home called Barbara Jones. Barbara and I ended up forming this lovely friendship. She was the writer and the director, and I'm from a very, very working class family. My mum left school at 15 to work in the jam factory, and my dad is a Romany gypsy and he can't read or write. So theatre wasn't part of kind of our agenda ever. But meeting Barbara, she used to take me to theatre productions all around the county, and I wouldn't have had that experience really if it wasn't for her, and I probably wouldn't have the love that I have for the arts if it wasn't to her. So I sort of always dedicate that, because she's so wonderful. Family thought I'd be the receptionist in the local jam factory, because all my family worked there, because it was a juice line and a jam line. Lots of my family worked there. But if you worked in like the offices or the reception, I mean, that was a step up. And I always remember overhearing my mum say when I was about 13, 14, she said, "I just think Melissa's going to be in the reception because she's got a brilliant telephone voice." And I remember thinking, oh my God, my mum thinks I'm going to be in the reception. And that was so exciting. And then I gave it all up, gave the receptionist job up, obviously, to move to London and come to drama school. I think my favourite role that I've played so far is Amelia in Othello Macbeth, which Othello Macbeth is, as it says in the name, a merge of Othello and Macbeth, but very much from a feminist point of view. So Amelia is one of my favourite characters because she is feisty and she's this like Shakespearean feminist. I think she's really ahead of her time. She's funny, and I think she knows she's funny, which is fantastic, because in a time when, you know, that was written where, you know, how much right did women have to be funny? I'm not quite sure that I'd change too much. Obviously, there are changes to be made when it comes to disability on screen and stage. It's something that I campaign massively for. I just think it's about positively educating people. It's not about lecturing people. We're not born with the knowledge of knowing what we're meant to do or what we're meant to say when we speak to people. That, you know, if you've never kind of had anybody in your life that has a disability, then you're not going to know everything. We don't know everything, and, you know, we have disabilities. But one of the hardest things that we're fighting to change is the open-mindedness when it comes to exec producers, directors, casting directors, production companies, artistic directors. And there are so many out there that are really, really fantastic and really backing us with our fight. But there is still such a long way to go. And I think it's about reminding people that, firstly, please see us when it's a disabled storyline. Please allow us to be in the casting room and audition at least for that disabled role. But that's such a side point. The main point is that we shouldn't just be waiting for disabled roles to come up. What is a disabled role? I don't know. Yes, I've got one arm, but, you know, I'm a girlfriend and a sister and a daughter and a best friend, and I love cocktails, and I love Chinese food, and, you know, there's loads of other things that we have about us. And I just think it's about allowing the industry to see that we can play any role, and allowing the industry to go with, why shouldn't I cast a disabled actor rather than why should I? The one thing that I think is resilience. You have to, if you want to keep going and progress in this industry, build this bubble of resilience around you. And I'm not going to patronise anybody by saying it's a really tough industry, because I used to get so annoyed. I still get annoyed now, and I find that people say it so often. I think I know, I'm in it. Of course I know it's difficult. But it really is about learning to bounce back. So when you get that phone call that says, "I'm really sorry, they've gone the other way, I love that as well, that you use that, by the way. It's one of my favourite sayings. It's not my favourite saying, I hate it, I hate hearing it, but it's just so funny that that's the way that we say it. When you get that phone call to say, I'm really sorry, it's gone the other way, have your time, have your hour, your 2 hours, your evening, your day, however long it takes. Allow yourself to have that time where you just feel a bit shit, and maybe you order yourself takeaway, or you just get like a massive bar of Galaxy, or you do something that just goes, I deserve to feel a little bit shit because I really wanted that job. Get that out of the way and just get straight back on the horse, because bouncing back is one of the best things you can kind of own, and the ability to bounce back. So do your shit, have your cry, get straight back on it. I would love to be in a fantastic drama playing a detective. I'd love to be a detective. It would be fantastic. I'd love to be a detective. Just something that's where you can really play with the seriousness and the amount of intelligence, but also matching that up against the fact that you could be a real human being and be quite funny. So yeah, Detective Johns is what I'd like to be. Or period drama. Like, I love the 60s. So the 60s would be incredible. But yeah, just the chance to. What I love about dramas is there are so many where the 1 minute you're so hooked, and the 1 minute you can be laughing, and the next minute you're so engrossed in it that you've gone on a journey with those characters, and you're in bits. And the chance to play a role where you could do that to viewers would be fantastic. If I were ever in a musical, which we're quite far behind on the musical front when it comes to general diversity, actually, but disability specifically. So it may not happen in the next in my lifetime, but I would absolutely love to be the first one-armed Sandy, or one-armed Juliet, because Shakespeare never ever said that. I mean, I'm getting age-wise we're getting a little bit further away from Juliet, but if we looked at her later on in life, he didn't say anywhere that she didn't have one arm. So first one-armed Juliet, or first one-armed Sandy. Triple C is the organisation that I am co-founder of with Shirley Houston, Monique Jarrett, Lydia Mulherin and Jed Mulherin. And we run lots of projects. We try to get drama back into SEN schools. We created DANK, which is the Disabled Artists Networking Community. And we also run a mental health choir. And so we, in order to get funding, do things like the Manchester 10K run. So there's never any question each year, I'm going to do it. I do, because of my arm and my side, the muscles on the right side of my body are shorter than the ones on my left, which means that kind of anything like that can get really, really painful. But there's, as I say, I know that sounds so cringy that there's so much love, but there really is. It like heals you along the way. And yeah, it's wonderful. So raising money for Triple C, and allowing us to continue our projects in breaking down the barriers for disability in the arts for all artists, whether that's disabled actors, disabled directors, writers, musicians, singers, dancers. Because when we started it, we thought, if we're going through this fight as disabled actors, disabled artists across the board are going to be going through the same thing. So let's create a database so strong in talent that we wipe out that age-old sentence that we get, which is, I really wanted to cast a disabled actor, or I really wanted to work with a disabled artist, I just didn't know where to find them. Okay, cool. We'll get that sorted. We'll get that database up and running. We've got over 300 artists on it so far, and that's growing. So there won't be any more excuses, will there?
Good. Love that.